Hey, today I want to share these 3 books that got me out of my last depression. First, I want to tell my depression journey. In the winter of 2017, it was the first time I realized I have depression. At that time, I feel really bad, and I was having suicide thoughts all the time. From winter 2017 till spring of 2019, it took me almost 1.5 years to really get myself together and get out of the depression. In the deep of the depression, it was really dark. However, after getting out, I realized the whole journey of 18 months has changed me as a person fundamentally. And after that, I feel much happier and I understand myself way better. So I want to share my journey with you. The first book I want to recommend is called A Woman in Berlin. I read this book in the winter of 2017. At that time, I already moved to Berlin for almost 1 year. I was quite lonely because I didn't have many friends, and I tried to find a partner, but in Berlin it was super hard. So emotionally, I feel very lonely. At this time, I was dating a guy. At that moment, I believed we were dating, but now thinking back, I knew that we were just friends with benefits. I was so lonely, so I had to do mental gymnastics to make myself believe that we were dating. Of course, it didn't go well because he thought we were fucking and I thought we were dating, so the expectation didn't meet. And in the end of 2017, he started to slowly becoming distant. I couldn't accept it, and it drives me crazy. At the same time, my career was really doing bad. It was the first full-time job I ever had. I was looking for an environment where I can learn and someone can lead me. However, due to lots of organizational changes, I ended up having no team lead, no supervisor. So I was fresh out of university, but I need to manage it myself. I got totally lost. I had no idea what to do. On top of that, I had this personal situation is going on. I was lonely. I had no friends. I had no lover, and for a while, I realized my work life is just every day I go there, working alone, looking at the screen, crying, and don't know what to do, trying to pretend I'm working, but there's no output at all. The guilt and self-blame was killing me. At this time, a friend visited Berlin, and when we went shopping, I got this book, A Woman in Berlin. This is a book about a female journalist. She was in Berlin between April till June 1945. The World War II was ending and the Germans were losing it. Russia came into Berlin and took over the city. It was really shocking for me. The book itself has quite a neutral tone. This journalist, every day, she just writes her diary to record what happens daily. It was brutal. On daily basis, she saw rape, she saw death, she saw starvation, she was experiencing it herself. What shocked me the most was even those horrible things were happening, she still could keep a positive or neutral tone about it. She was living it and she just tries to survive. And once in a while, she even makes a few jokes about herself or someone else. And for me, it was the first time I really understood the power of humor. How in the worst situation you can imagine, still having a positive attitude around the world around you and make jokes about it. How amazing is that? Fast forward to spring 2008. At this time, I start to realize I have a real issue and I should look for help. It took me quite long because I came from China. In my country, depression is not well known and there were lots of negative stereotypes around it. All I knew was that depression is super rare and most of the time only really weak people get it. For strong people, people with a tough mindset and who can manage their lives, they wouldn't get depression. But at this point, I'm almost already with this depression for 6 months. I don't remember much happened during the period because I think when we are really, really unhappy, our brain trying to help it by erase some of the memories. All I could remember is that I was extremely unhappy. I cry almost every day. I wake up feeling I just want to kill myself. Most of the days I just stay in bed, couldn't do anything. I started really afraid of light. My curtains were always closed and I never turn on lights. I just cry a lot. After I realized I probably have depression, a few people around me, they told me, please don't use antidepressants because they are really bad. I believed it because as a Chinese person, we are quite against of Western medication anyway. We believe by eating healthy and using different herbs, it's better than Western medicine. But at some point, I realized I have to look for help because I'm dying. I have nothing to lose. If anything can save me, anything can get me out of the depression, I'll try it because what else I have to lose? So at this point, I start to go to psychiatrist. He prescribed me venlafaxine and he gave me sick leave for 1 month. So I was 1 month at home doing nothing and taking antidepressant. At that time, I thought my life was collapsing. My career is ending. I didn't know what will I do after 1 month because when I go back to workplace, I will feel more stressful. So that's one of the reasons why I'm in this shot, I keep standing next to a window is exactly how it was like for that 4 weeks. At that time, I have a sofa right next to a window, and I just remember every day I sit next to that window and looking outside and hope there will be light, there will be hope. I start to read intensively because I have nothing else to do and I wanted to keep myself busy. And that's the time I start to read this book. I Am Malala. I heard about Malala before, but I never really know her story. And I'm really happy that I start to read her book. This book really shocked me because when I was focusing on my struggle, that I have no friends, that I couldn't find a boyfriend, I was lonely, my career wasn't going great. But as a teenager, she was already making impact to the world, and she was doing political activism, and she almost lost her life. She is so positive and making change. That's the time make me realize I should find something I really care and I really love about. So I think this book really, really motivated me. Since then, I start to try to find hobbies. For example, I tried painting, I tried to learn swimming. They both helped. They both helped a lot. Probably 3-4 months later, I went to the first stand-up comedy show. It was great, and I just couldn't forget it. I keep thinking about it, and at the end, I started to do comedy, which kept me going till now. I got hooked, and I love it so much. And finally, now I have a purpose and have a goal in life, which is to do stand-up comedy, to be a great comedian, to use stand-up comedy as a tool to express my pain and my past, turn them into jokes and share with more people who are struggling. Now we're in the summer of 2019. My life has become way better. At this point, I got my first dog, Panda. Panda is the best, so cute. I started to do comedy. I won the first Berlin Stand-Up Award. In a stable relationship with my current partner, and I found a new job. I thought after my last depression, I've been out of work for more than 1 year. I thought it's a suicide for my professional life. I thought I would never find a job again with my past record. However, I did get a job, and I was paid way much more than before. So everything turns out good. However, one day my backpack was stolen. My passport, my wallet, my work computer were all in that backpack. And my partner was outside of town that weekend. So I was locked outside of my apartment with almost nothing. I only had a phone with me, that's it. I feel so lost and so stressed. I stayed with a friend at his apartment for the weekend. I think this book really opened my eyes to see, yes, there's this mental side of depression, that mentally we just very stressed, and we are not able to think about the bright side. However, there's physical part of it too. For example, in this book, it explains how important sleep is for us to have a better physical performance, have better mood, have better mental health. For example, in one study, they found a group of perfectly healthy college students, and try to let them to sleep 1 hour less per day. After 2 weeks, the researchers sent those college students go to psychiatrists. Half of them got diagnosed of different sorts of mental illness. So that means even for mentally healthy person without proper sleep, they will have symptoms of depression, anxiety, or other mental illness. So for a person who have depression, those symptoms will even be worse. Because of this book, I start to really pay attention to my sleep pattern. I make sure that at least I sleep 7.5 hours per day, and no matter what, I will not pull out an all-nighter, because I know the most important thing for me is to have a healthy mental status. And it really helped. Since I started to really put focus on my sleep, I could notice that I have way less bad days when I wake up in the mornings. And even if I do have a bad day, if I pay extra caution and make actions to ensure I sleep early and tight the same night, the second day I wake up feeling okay. These are the 3 books that helped with my depression. What do you think? Have you read one of them? If so, leave me a comment telling me how you feel. Or are you experiencing depression or anxiety or some other type of mental illness at the moment? Are you reading any interesting books which you think it helps? Just leave us a comment below and I'll get back to you. Panda?